As an American icon, football is a highly revered sport that has seen some of the best and worst plays in the field and even catapulted several athletes into celebrity status. Of course, we can't deny that we've also seen some of the worst players in recent years. For today's episode, we'll be listing down the top 10 most hated NFL players of all time ranked, so keep on watching to know more. Starting today's list of most hated players in the 10th spot is the Tampa Bay Buccaneers defensive end, Ndamukong Suh. A highly decorated player, Suh is a recipient of the Bronco Nagurski Trophy, the Chuck Bednarik Award, the Lombardi Award, and the Outland Trophy, who recognize his skills at the sport. He's also the highest paid defensive player in NFL history in 2015, but ironically enough, Suh is also one of the players of the NFL who have been fined the most. According to Sport Track, the player has over $680,000 in fines, and more than $600,000 of these came in the earlier days of his career. To some, he may be skilled, but many consider Suh as one of the dirtiest players in the league. A lot of people have criticized him for his aggressive plays, which is why he's one of the most hated players in the NFL. Number 9 on the list goes back decades and is also known as one of the dirtiest players during his time, Conrad Dobler. He played as the St. Louis Cardinals guard for 6 seasons before moving to the New Orleans Saints and last played for the Buffalo Bills. The man pretty much did everything he could get away with on the field, which made him one of the most notorious players the NFL has ever seen, calling it controlled violence. Number 8 on the list is one of the many NFL athletes whose careers got cut short due to a controversy. Ray Rice played for the Baltimore Ravens as a running back from 2008, and he was pretty good at it too, seeing how he scored 3 Pro Bowls and was a starting member during the 2012 season. But during the 2014 offseason, Rice got himself caught in a controversy where he was indicted of assaulting his then fiancée. It was said that it was a minor altercation, but a security cam footage showed otherwise and became viral, seeing how the athlete hit her and dragged her unconscious body across the floor. He was given indefinite suspension by the NFL, which ended his football career. Number 7 on the list is a player who became headline news in 2016 for his activism that cost him his career, Colin Kaepernick. He played for the San Francisco 49ers as the team's quarterback for 6 seasons. Sadly, it was the things that he stood for that got under some of his anti-fan skin, never mind that he was a brilliant player. In 2016, Kaepernick knelt during the national anthem as a protest against the police brutality that's been happening all across the country, which had him blacklisted from playing in the NFL. He did file a grievance against them back in 2017, but withdrew it after settling the matter privately. In the 6th spot, we have another former NFL player, now turned MMA fighter, Greg Hardy. This athlete entered the NFL playing for the Carolina Panthers as their defensive end, then moved to the Dallas Cowboys, and last played for the Richmond Rough Riders. Hardy's effort at the sport took place back in 2013 when he achieved a career-high 15 sacks that earned him Pro Bowl and second-team All-Pro honors. But trouble knocked soon after when he got accused by his former girlfriend of assault during the following season. Although the case was dropped since the victim was a no-show in the court, the Panthers decided to drop him and soon after, his fans. It didn't help that he was arrogant and showed no remorse for what he allegedly did. He was then signed by the Cowboys, but it wasn't long until the team dropped him, deeming him a bad influence on the younger players. Now Hardy's busy fighting inside the cage since he signed with the UFC back in 2019. Now we're at the upper half of today's list, and sitting pretty at number 5 is none other than the Tampa Bay Buccaneers' Tom Brady. One of the most popular players in the NFL, Tom Brady has seen his fair share of hate thrown towards him, a sure proof that no matter how good you are, you will never be everyone's cup of tea. And Brady wasn't just good, he is great at what he's doing, and even known as the greatest quarterback of all time. Brady spent his first 20 seasons playing for the New England Patriots and moved to the Buccaneers just in 2020, and if you're on the opposite team playing against him, then you're guaranteed to hate his guts at his excellent plays. Other than that, the only hateable instance this man has is when he got embroiled in a cheating scandal, but as far as everyone's concerned, he and his spouse, supermodel Gisele Bundchen, are still together and stronger than ever. Coming in 4th place is the Baltimore Ravens' former middle linebacker, Ray Lewis. Throughout his 17-year career, Lewis only played for the Ravens and was known for leading the team to victory multiple times. Some even claim that this former athlete is the greatest middle linebacker that there ever was, and if there's one thing that he's hated for, it's being connected to a murder. In 2000, Lewis pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice in connection with the stabbing deaths of 2 men, but surprisingly, he was found not guilty, despite many believing otherwise. Shortly after this controversial event, he was hailed as the NFL Defensive Player of the Year, and even won the Defensive Player of the Year award in 2 different seasons. Lewis was also religious and frequently used God in his every comment, which further added fuel to some of his anti-hatred towards him. 3rd on today's list is Bill Romo Romanowski, who is dubbed Romo Cop by many and played 16 seasons in the NFL. Another former linebacker who predominantly played for the San Francisco 49ers and Denver Broncos. However, he became one of the most hated players of all time because of his dirty plays and unsportsmanlike behavior, which often led to altercations with the opposing teams and even with his teammates. He was downright dirty, and he's not even ashamed of it, so Romanowski also also got suspended frequently. One of the most infamous injuries he did was crushing Marcus Williams in his own teammate's eye socket and was forced to end his career early. The infamous linebacker also admitted to using steroids during his time in the field, as well as his racist attitude in and out of the field. Even after his retirement, the onslaught of distasteful news still carried on for the infamous RomoCop. Coming in second place among the most hated NFL players is the former Atlanta Falcons quarterback, Michael Vick. A former athlete, Vick also worked off the field as the coach of the Atlanta Legends in 2019. Widely considered as one of the best quarterbacks during his time, Vick's skill is on par with the best and brightest out there, and he could easily outrun any player in the field, which made him prominent at the time. Unfortunately, Vick's stellar football career came to a stop when he got himself involved in an illegal dogfighting ring and pleaded guilty, to which he served 21 months in federal prison. But even before that, the former quarterback often found himself in bad company, which put him in bad places. He was involved in allegedly distributing marijuana in 2004, as well as receiving a civil lawsuit from Sonia Elliott for his failure to inform her that he had genital herpes and therefore passing it on to Elliott. Vick was also fined for the amount of $10,000 by the NFL for making obscene gestures at fans, giving them the finger, wherein he was also made to donate an additional $10,000 to charity. And topping the list of most hated NFL players of all time is none other than the wide receiver Terrell Owens. This former athlete has played for the NFL for 16 seasons and has won prestigious awards and played for 7 teams throughout his career. He's been one of the best wide receivers on the field, and yet Owens received a lot more hate than support from the industry from when he started until the day he retired. We wouldn't look past his talent, but we understood where some of those backlashes came from, given how Owens acted and carried himself outside the game. Known for his cockiness and self-centered ideals, a man's got himself enemies everywhere. Even the NFL was aware of how he's behaving and didn't care to hide their distaste in him when they continuously snubbed him from being inducted in the Hall of Fame until 2018. And when the time came that his talent could no longer be denied, Owens was eventually inducted, but during the ceremony, it was the athlete who refused to grace them of his presence, which angered a lot more NFL fans by doing so. And with that, we're wrapping up today's episode about the 10 most hated NFL players of all time. Do you think some of these players deserve the hate they received? Let us know in the comments below. And don't forget to leave a like and subscribe to our channel with the notification bell on before you go. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.